what I did last night is I tried one of each cookie. So I bought a box of each cookie. And then tonight I'm going to pick out a whiskey. And the next one I'm doing is the Tagalong, which is kind of like a cookie, chocolate covered cookie with peanut butter inside of it, right? So I wrote down that I thought a wheated bourbon would go well with this, which I find interesting because, you know, if you think about it, wheateds don't have a robust flavor typically, unless they're aged for a long time. But what they do have is kind of a sweeter, almost effervescent kind of flavor to them. Okay, well the good thing about this, trying it on this channel, although I would be disappointed outside of this, is it's not super heavy peanut buttery. So I think that's going to allow this to stand up a little bit. Now, the chocolate actually has like the slightest little bit of mint to it. I don't know if it just brushed up against the thin mint, which I don't think it did, but there's something about mint and peanut butter and chocolate in this. So I'm not confident that a wheated is the right choice, but I think I'm going to go for it anyway. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to try two things. My typical, well, let me grab them, right? So my typical choice for wheated would be a Larceny. But I think the Larceny barrel proof, it might hold up a little bit better. So let's go ahead and let's just do that. Let's just go barrel proof. Because I didn't learn anything from that first cookie. New sentence. All right. Let's try it again. No, it's too strong. Let me try the regular Larceny. You know what's interesting though? That flavor combination right there? Popcorn. Very strange. Like really buttery popcorn. That doesn't make any sense at all. But that's what we're here for. Figuring stuff out. All right, let's try this again. It's a good thing I brought extra glasses. Nah. No, that one was a fail too. Wheateds just don't hold up to peanut butter at all. The finish on that's not totally bad, but just the regular taste, like it's not a good pairing at all. It's more just, you can deal with it. All right, next is called a Treefoil, or Treefoil. It's essentially just a shortbread cookie. There's nothing to it. I kind of put it right almost in the middle because I figured it'd be a little bit of a palate cleanser. So oddly enough, when I tasted this last night, I thought that Nikka from the barrel, might be a good choice. And the reason for that is this gave me the impression of coffee. And even though a coffee still really has nothing to do with coffee, just kind of put it in my head. And Nikka is made in a coffee still, right? So let's go ahead and grab the Nikka from the barrel, which is in my abysmally small Japanese whiskey collection. I've got a Yamazaki Nikka coffee grain, which isn't open, and then my Nikka from the barrel. Now, I really liked the Nikka from the barrel a couple of years ago, so I'm excited to see how this one does. I haven't had it in a little bit. All right, so to cleansing your palate. I mean, the cookie itself, surprisingly good. It's almost like, you know how like an ice cream sandwich can be legit awesome, even though there's a million better things, quote unquote better things out there, but just the simplicity of an ice cream sandwich is just really, really good. It's kind of this, right? Shortbread cookie shouldn't be all that great, but it's simple and it's good. So, cheers. Ooh, that's a good combo. To be fair, I think a lot of things would go well with the shortbread. But I do think that this was a good choice, even though I kind of walked backwards into it. But I'm pretty happy with that. I bet you will never see a trefoil or trefoil, whatever you say it, and Nika from the Barrel put on any other website. That is just a strange combination, but it works. The reason I think that works, by the way, is there's this layering going on with the Nika and the trefoil, where if you kind of have them both in your mouth at the same time, right? So you take a bite, you take a sip. You taste the shortbread, but then you taste the whiskey, and the cookie disappears. When the whiskey is transitioning from the initial taste to kind of mellow and working its way to the finish, the cookie takes back over. And so it's this little dance that's going on in your mouth where you're just like cookie, whiskey, cookie, whiskey. It's strange, but it totally works. All right, we have 2 more left, and I'm saving the Thin Mint for the last. So next one is a Do-si-do. Now, in totally not helping myself out, I wrote, it's like a Nutter Butter, because that doesn't give me anything. But let's go ahead and have a taste of this. I mean, it does taste like a Nutter Butter, that's correct, but it gives me nothing to go on as far as picking a whiskey. While I'm going through these, I should have said this earlier on, I would love to know what you guys would pair individually with any of these. And just throw it in the comments. I think it will be very interesting to see. Or if you happen to buy, you should support the Girl Scouts. Not only because it's a great organization, but because the cookies are fantastic. But just let me know what you think would go really well with these. All right, so with the Do-si-do, this one is obviously peanut buttery. The cookie itself is peanut buttery. So it's kind of a heavy peanut butter and a light peanut butter. So thinking about this, I didn't want to do it. I had a feeling that this would kind of come out, but I didn't do it, and I'm not going to do it. Like Screwball peanut butter whiskey would probably be a good choice to go along with this, but I'm not doing that. I've only had 1 flavored quote-unquote whiskey on this channel, 2 actually, and I'm not about to make it a 3rd one, at least not right now. So, the Do-si-do. Let's go ahead and pick what we want. I'm thinking bourbon, right? So that's why I went over kind of the bourbon area. How many glasses do I have left? I have 3 glasses left, which means one of these I have to just pick. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go with the Blanton's Gold. Yeah, because it's funny. And I actually do think it'll probably be a good combo. I don't know why. As I said, I'm not overly good at this. I mean, there's better whiskey tubers at doing tastings and blind tastings and pairings and all that stuff. I just do this for fun. So I'm not the best at it. But sometimes when I think about a flavor, a whiskey will pop into my head. And Blanton's did. So let's see if it's any good. Let's go ahead and have a bite. Okay. I mean, it tastes good. Cheers. Okay. And even a broken clock is wrong. Right twice a day. Jeez, can't even say it right. That actually tastes really good together. It's not like the most incredible thing I've had, but it tastes pretty good. It tastes really good. I hate to say it, but that's a good combination. You should almost try that yourself if you happen to have a gold sitting around. All right, let's move on to the one that everybody pretty much loves, and that's the Thin Mint. So, Thin Mint, chocolate-covered, minty cookie. So let me first, even though mint is going to just overpower everything, let's go ahead and take a bite. I mean, it tastes like what you would expect. It's almost like having mint chocolate chip ice cream, except not cold. So I got two different ideas here. And actually, I did not plan this. As you saw, I kind of went ad hoc a little bit here. I have 2 glasses left, which is perfect, because I have 2 different ideas. I have one that's conceptual, and one that I actually think will taste good. Let's do the conceptual, the think it will taste good first. So, I think because mint, I think that a rye will probably work the best for this. So, I'm going to go with the New Riff Rye. Now, I realize that not everybody has one of these, and that's fair. But I have my little library here just for these reasons. You know, you could obviously substitute any rye that you have. A lot of them have very overpowering flavors. There is nuance to rye, of course, but you will do okay with it. All right, so we're going to go New Riff Rye with the Thin Mint. That opens up a whole new world of flavor. Wow. So, for those of you that don't, or that do drink a lot of ryes, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. And actually, even those that don't drink a lot. When you first taste a rye, a lot of times the flavor can be overpowering. Just at first, you get used to it. But rye spice is a powerful thing. When I have this, you don't get any of that overpowered from the rye. It's cut by the mint, which, as I mentioned, a lot of ryes kind of lean into a mint anyway. So it really accentuates what New Riff is already trying to do and does give it this cool, it's a different kind of layering. I hate using the word, but it's actually honestly the right word. It's a synergy of flavors. You're getting the rye mixed with the mint and it creates something better than the sum of its parts. That is a really good combo. Surprisingly. I was going to pick Pikesville originally, and I if I had more glasses, maybe I'd give it a shot, but I don't really think it's worth it either. The New Riff is a really good rye, so I think that's probably a good choice. Now, I did promise the conceptual one. Now, Thin Mints are a very powerful flavor. So is peat. And specifically, where are you? I'm going digging. Lefroy 10. Let's see if this is a mistake. I'm fully expecting that this will actually taste pretty good. I think a smoky, minty chocolate is potentially a good idea. But let's find out. This is a fun one to film. Cheers. Hold on, I gotta try that again. I'm going for the full cookie though, because it got lost in the peat. No. No, I thought it was okay at first and it wasn't. Oh, that's... I mean, you guys know I like peated whiskey, so that's not the problem. There's a few problems going on right now. Ugh. No thanks. Well, I said I was going to do whatever the hell I wanted, and I did. Sometimes that's not going to turn out so well. But anyway, this is a weird episode, but one that I enjoyed doing. So yeah, thanks for bearing with me and watching the whole thing, hopefully. And if you guys are at all interested or in seeing anything like this ever again, definitely let me know in the comments. And subscribe, of course. Check out the links in the profile, and I will see you guys next week. Cheers. Ugh.